Hey guys, so I'm going to talk about a story today. And the title of my story is Ruth the Parrot. In a very small town, there lives a girl called Ruth. She was 15 years old and she had 2 sisters and 1 brother. She was the eldest in the family. She was not only the eldest in the family, she was also a parrot. It's just, Ruth talks a lot. It's just like when someone asks you, what's your hobby? Ruth's hobby was talking. And the whole town concluded that Ruth's hobby was talking because she could talk 24 hours without getting tired. And she even talks while sleeping. According to her mother, every time her mother goes to her children's room to check on her kids in the night, she always sees Ruth talking. The first time she noticed this, she thought that Ruth was awake but just closing her eyes and talking. But she didn't bother to ask Ruth, why are you talking instead of sleeping? The second time she noticed it, she decided to touch Ruth and tell her to go to sleep instead of talking to herself. But when she touched Ruth, Ruth didn't open her eyes, and so she touched Ruth the second time. She got no reply, and so she touched Ruth more harder, and so Ruth opened her eyes and stretched herself. And so her mother was like, are you sleeping? And Ruth replied, what do you think I'm doing? Of course I'm sleeping. And her mother was so shocked, and she stared at Ruth for some seconds. And Ruth was like, Mom? Her mother didn't reply. Mom? No reply. And so she decided to scream more louder, Mom! And so her mother replied, and she was like, what's wrong? What are you thinking about? And her mother was like, nothing. Nothing is wrong. Good night. And so Ruth told her mother good night, and she lied down and closed her eyes, about to go to sleep. Ruth's mother was close to her door, but Ruth's mother turned back and walked toward Ruth, and she was like, you know what? Actually, something is wrong. I thought you weren't sleeping because you were talking. And Ruth opened her eyes and she was like, I wasn't talking, I was sleeping. And her mother was like, okay, good night then, see you tomorrow. And Ruth said, you too, see you tomorrow. And Ruth slept back. This is how the whole town knew that Ruth talks even while she sleeps. And so she was given the nickname Ruth the Parrot. Ruth hated that name so much. And so since the town recognized that Ruth hated the name, they called her more and more Ruth the Parrot, Ruth the Parrot. Because they thought by calling her this name, she would change. But Ruth didn't change. Even at school, Ruth had no friend because whenever her friend told Ruth their secret, Ruth tells it to the whole class. And so everyone hated her, no one liked her. But Ruth didn't care. She only wanted her best friend back, so she decided to keep quiet in the class for 3 days without talking. So everyone is gonna be like, she changed. And so after 3 days, Ruth went to her best friend and she was like, hey, I'm a changed person now. I no longer talk a lot. And her friend believed her and they hugged each other and became friends again. Ruth's best friend name was Sarah. The next day, Sarah told Ruth her secret that she likes a guy. And within 2 minutes, the whole news was all over the school. Sarah got to know that Ruth told the whole school because every time Sarah passed, someone is gonna be like, hey, I never knew you liked Jack. Anyway, he looks good. Sarah was so mad at Ruth, and she was also angry and sad. She was crying and crying and crying, and after crying, she washed her face and she pretended as if she never knew that Ruth told everyone. So she went to the class where Ruth was and she was like, hey, so I told you my secret. So, what's yours? I mean, who do you like? And Ruth was like, and Sarah was like, come on. And Ruth told Sarah who she likes. Sarah smiled at Ruth, and immediately Sarah stood up and told the whole class. And so everyone was talking about it. And when Ruth heard of it, she got so mad at Sarah. She went to the classroom and she was like, why the hell do you tell my secret? And Sarah was like, now you know how it feels. Now you know how someone feels when you tell someone's secret. And Sarah walked out of the classroom. Ruth was so sad, and from that day onward, Ruth eventually stopped talking a lot and she became a changed person. And the town recognized that Ruth no longer talked a lot. And so they stopped calling her Ruth the parrot, but called her by her name. This is the end of the story. So I hope you guys enjoy my story. Subscribe and like my video. See you next time. Goodbye.